everyone. Kathryn here. Happy Tuesday. So I'm going live today with my good friend Andrew, and he is on his way home. So hopefully he's home. And but yeah, so I'm going live today. I'm starting a series to talk with the hello. Thanks for joining. I'm just starting this series to talk with the men in the community and just to see what's happening and what's going on. I'm just waiting for Andrew to join. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. It's sunny here in Vancouver today. It's so nice. But yeah, so I don't know. While we're waiting, I'll just say a little bit about myself. And so there he is. But anyways, I'm Kathryn. I'm from Vancouver, originally from Ontario. And I'm just adding him now. Here we go. And I have been living in Vancouver for the last little while. Oh my gosh, hi. That was quick.
Hey. Yeah, sorry, it was like lagging on me a little bit, so I had to like pop out and then pop back in.
No problem.
Girl, you're shining like a star. Damn, that glow, the lighting on you. Damn, you're looking good.
It's beautiful here. I'm so
I know.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're on the West Coast. I honestly have always wanted to travel out to the West Coast, but I've never traveled out there.
Well, see, now you have someone to come visit, right?
That's 100% true. How's your day?
So, everyone, thanks for joining us. My name's Kathryn. Like I was saying, I'm in Vancouver, and I have Andrew joining me today from the East Coast. So we've got East meets West and West meets East. It's kind of exciting. And with all the stuff that's happening in Canada right now, it's really nice that we're getting both of our energies together today to kind of maybe support in the energy that's happening, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think in a time like this, it's so important that we talk about these things, right? Because it's very influential, right? A lot of people don't realize, right? There's a lot of like dark energy, but there's also a lot of light energy. And so, for anybody that's watching this, if you're going through those fluctuations between like, I'm in a good mood one day and then the other day I'm kind of confused, there's a lot of energies going around. So, it's very important, I believe, to talk about. So it gives us a better understanding of like, what is going on, right? Like in our heads, in our bodies, energetically, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I want to like, if you want to let people know a little bit about yourself, let the viewers know how you came, because you have struggled with the energies and like balancing them out and getting yourself out of the dark energy, right? So maybe just tell a little bit about your story and your journey.
Yeah, for sure. First off, I want to say thank you for actually inviting me on. You've been one of the most energetic, vibing person. Like, listen, if anybody's watching this live, this girl is one of the most hyped up, energetic people that I know. I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, if you could carry, like, if I could carry you in my pocket, I would. And I recommend that anybody, if they could do the same, take a little bit of you and keep you in their pocket. But in all honesty, yeah. So the truth is, in this game of life, I always say in this game of life, I'm actually level 27. And, my journey was not different than anybody else's. I just started off, growing up as a kid, it was just a very negative environment. Up until probably 15, 16 years old, I got really clinically depressed. I never actually got tested for it or anything like that. But I knew internally, energetically, I was not being the person that I truly was, because on the outside, I was showing everybody the good stuff and everything like that. And I had a lot of different fluctualities going on in my life. My parents were splitting at that time. There was just so many different things. But here's the thing. I spent from 17 years old, or from 15, 16, all the way up until 24 years old, always in the dark energy, depressed, um, always looking for some type of light. I was, like there wasn't a month that didn't go by that I didn't want to hurt myself or leave this world. And it was a very dark and scary journey. And nobody really, the hard thing is mental illness is one of those things that you can never tell, right? They're like an example. If we don't take care of our bodies, we got you frozen here. Okay, there we go.
Am I frozen?
You were frozen for a second.
No.
I was saying like mental illness is one of those things that nobody can really tell that you have stuff going on. It's one of those invisible diseases that we got going on mentally, physically, emotionally. And so basically, I kind of started my journey at a very unique way of doing things. So what really got me to open up and really start healing or wanting that to heal and allow that light coming in is when I was 17 years old, I actually threw myself in a hospital for an overdosage. And it was a very tough moment because, I had to let go of my ego. I had to let go of a lot of things because at that point in time, I was like, my friends and family are coming to see me. They're seeing me in a hospital bed, hooked up to a bunch of machines, and it wasn't up until, and this is going to help you understand something personally more. But it wasn't up until my sister came in. And when my sister came in, she came in with her lip like quivering, like about to cry. And, I looked at my sister and I said to her, I said, if you're going to cry, get the fuck out. Like, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. Right. And in that moment we hugged. In that moment, it felt like it was my last hug. I was really scared, but at the same time, I felt so much love. And so basically that's what started my healing journey, with my sister. And, because I did want to be the person that I was giving myself to be to everybody. Like I was always like, I would give you the shirt off my back. I was always that type of person. And a lot of people who are depressed are typically those type of people where, internally, nobody knows what's going on, but they'll give you the shirt off their back and all that. And so I started that healing journey. I got into a lot of psychology, got into a lot of more of like the healthy living lifestyle. But it wasn't until I got onto my first time with ayahuasca is what really blew the cap and really made me see what I was not seeing at that time. And so up until 24, probably like 23, 24, I was doing so well, right? I was starting to get on track. And then 24 hit. I took that ayahuasca trip over 2 years ago, really opened me up. And that's where the clarity came in. Once I was open in the sense of realizing that all the pain that I was holding on to was my choice. That was the most beautiful part. And one of the hardest pills to swallow too. It was one of the most beautiful things, but it was also one of the hardest pills to swallow because you don't realize that we as humans are consciously making our decisions and a lot of times unconsciously making those decisions as well. But it's so hard to find that responsibility to be like, hey, you know what? I fucked up. Or, hey, you know what? Blah, 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 blah. And be able to separate yourself from all those emotions and those thoughts. And so once I actually started healing my gut through our products, through our online store, that is when everything, like right now, in terms like this smile can't get any bigger. This smile is natural. This is the excitement I have when I'm talking about the foods that we're putting into our bodies, because I know on a different level, because I've gone past my 30 days of transformation, I know on a mental level, on a physical level, and a spiritual level, that these high vibrational foods have changed my life. And it's beautiful because I was already on that pathway to evolving. And this was the tool that I didn't even know I needed. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even understand it when somebody's like, hey, this is going to change your life. I was like, okay, like, what do you mean? I'm already trying to change my life. Like, you got to tell me what see, like I got so much excitement. But the truth is, it's like everything that I've been taking for the past 30 days has shifted my mindset night and day. Um, I feel great physically. Oh, sorry. I feel great physically, emotionally, mentally. There's so much more clarity, so many things going right because I'm putting high vibrational nourishment inside my body, right? And it's just like how we started off. Um, it's just unfortunate that a lot of people don't know about this, and this is why I love going on lives. This is why I love like talking to our community of people, because the awareness is going to be brought up. We are spreading that light that people may not even know that they need, but a lot of people in this world definitely do need the light that we're bringing forth. Because here's the truth: we cannot keep going with the same motive of hurt people, hurt people. We got to change this. This is a new world, baby. We're
Yeah.
living as bright, shining diamonds, and we got to understand that that diamond, in order to make a diamond, it takes pressure, it takes a whole component to like really build that diamond, so that you can let it shine just the way that we are right now, right? So, in a nutshell, that's my life. I come from the good, or I came from the bad. I'm converting to all the good. And you know what? I've just found my balance in the middle, and now I'm just on my path, spreading the awareness, spreading the love. And you know what? I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be the greatest version of myself each and every single day. And you know what? Some days I suck at it. I'm okay with that, because some days I just like to be lazy, and that's okay. I want people to understand, just because, like, we're happy and excited to talk about these things, it doesn't mean that this is our energy 24/7. We're human, we get
I
to
was saying that because I was
Canada.
yeah, I was actually yeah, that's so wild that you're saying that, because that's what was in my head that I wanted to. So that's how connected you become when you're on this vibration and these foods, because I was literally going to ask you. So it's not, I was going to say, because you had those days before, you're in this new energy, but you still have those days. And we still have those days, but we're able to shift through them in a powerful way, right? It's beautiful. Am I frozen? Are you frozen? Can everyone hear us?
I can't. We're like,
Yeah.
see, our connection on the spiritual level is there, but they don't want us to get this information out. That's the truth. That's why she keeps freezing out. Sorry, you were saying before you froze.
What's that?
What were you saying before you froze? Because I definitely didn't catch it.
Oh. I was saying, like, as soon as you started mentioning that we don't always, like, we still have those days. It's not like our days are always shiny and bright and like we're always constantly on, but we still have those days. But now we're able to, I was actually going to bring that up. Like, we actually have those days still, but we're able to shift through them in such a profound way. And we can see why it's coming up. What was the purpose of this? Like, what is this teaching me? And it's not like a victim story anymore. These victim stories don't come up anymore. These stories come up. Like, what is this teaching me? How can I learn from this? And it's a different energy and a different level to be on when you're there, because everyone's going to have their bad days. Nobody's perfect, like you were saying, and
of course.
Are just becoming our better version. I love that you were saying that, because I was thinking it. It was beautiful.
Wow. We are definitely connected on that spiritual realm of things, because the fact that you were thinking it and I said it out loud, great. And this is the thing, right? How great does it feel that you don't have to say anything and somebody just gets it? Because you guys are we're on that frequency. And this is the thing. This is why this message, by us going live, it's going to attract. What we're attracting is only those that want to change and that are willing to change or willing to evolve. I don't like the word change. Willing to evolve and wanting to evolve. And at the end of the day, it's not everybody's journey. You know, eventually you're going to need to evolve as a human being, no matter what. You know, like I'm 27, I don't have any kids, but one day I'm going to have to evolve into becoming a dad. Or I would like to, anyways, or
Yeah.
hypothetically, I would like to. And one day, you know, you're always going to go through that evolution in humanity. And so this is what I always tell people: why impede the process by not allowing it? An example, like when I went live yesterday, I know you were on and you were amazing because like you were engaging and like it was beautiful because I was allowing myself to talk about something that I never really talked about. And, you know, all of a sudden, I started feeling the emotion. I started feeling the emotion. And what did I do as a male? I let it happen. And that's a very hard thing, especially as a male. It's a very hard thing to do, but not for me. And the reason why it's not hard for me is because I've learned through my trials and tribulations in my life. I've learned that it's better to be open and accepting and allowing things to move through you, because when it does, your job is not to judge. Your job is just to enjoy the ride. Let it come out. Let whatever needs to speak out, right? And I think, you know, it's very hard for a lot of men to speak up and speak out because, you know, we've had this stigma that men are supposed to be A, B, Z, all those things in order. And the truth is, there is no such thing that there is no guidebook for how to be a woman, how to be a man. You know, if I could rewrite history, I would be like, how to live a good life. Here it is in a book. Not the Bible, not nothing. How to live a good life. This is what your book is. Enjoy, right? But you know what? At the same time, it takes away from the fun and the journey in life, really. Like, you know, if I didn't go through what I went through, I would have never been here ready and matching frequencies with somebody as beautiful as you are, because I would have been still stuck in my past, right?
Yeah.
But I had to go through those, like, people think that it's duality in life, you know? You have to have the bad to go with the good, right? If you've never been broke, you can't expect to understand the feelings of being rich. Or if you've never been brokenhearted, you'll never understand the amount of love somebody can give you, right? Or the amount of love that you can receive in your life. And this is the beautiful part, is that once you start understanding that life is that balance between good and bad, I say good and bad, but hypothetically, it's the same thing. We just want to label it as good and bad.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's like once you understand that, you know, you have to go through certain things to get to where you want to get, you can enjoy the journey. You can let go and just be like, all right, let this come through. What do I have to do? Okay, what can I learn?
Surrender.
How can I grow? Yeah.
Surrender to all of it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I surrendered finally like 2 years ago. I surrendered, and this is where I am. It brought me here.
Wow.
Yeah, surrender.
Well, you know what? And I'm glad it brought you here because I know how much of a heart-centered person you are. Like your smile says it all, right? And that's the beautiful part, is that you have that ability to smile now because of what you've been through. Regardless of what it looks like on paper, and regardless of what you think of your past, here's the thing. We both have been at very low peaks of our lives. We both have been at rock bottom. Regardless of what your rock bottom looks like, or regardless of what my rock bottom looks like. My rock bottom could look like a hole full of dirt. Your rock bottom could be like a hole full of diamonds. Who knows? At the end of the day, it's still rock bottom. But here we through all the trials and tribulations, we climbed, and then we got to the part where we're back on earth. We're back to, okay, this is life. All right. Now I came from the dark. Now I came from the dark. I've been in the light. Now I can see, where do I want to put my attention to? It's all perception, right?
Yeah.
You and I both being in Canada with what's going on in Ottawa, we both could look at the situation and say, holy, like we could talk about all the negatives, but we also could talk about all the positives. Either way, it's two thumbs up
Yeah.
because there's change coming. There has to be,
Huge.
right?
It's huge. I've been talking to some people on the front lines of that, and there's like this. People think it's about the mandates and the vaccine. I guess I shouldn't say it on there because they might blank us out or whatever they call it. But the people think it's about that, but it's actually about everything. It's about the whole big picture. It's about the control. It's about exposing. It's all about exposing.
Yeah.
Showing everyone
And
what's really happening.
yeah,
And that's why there's such a huge, powerful energy right now. I mean, I've been feeling it, but this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This was just like someone tapping you, saying, it's time to wake up now. That's basically what it is. Wake up from your nap.
essentially, yeah. And I don't even know how, like, you're explaining it, but like it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Like the way you just like, hey, it's time to wake up from your nap. That just clicked in me. I was like, okay, yeah, that's so true.
I've been
You
awake
know?
kid. It's been really it's been crazy. Like I was questioning things. I was questioning the school system when I was in school, and I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So I'm like, I was questioning it then. I was questioning the pharmaceuticals. I remember, like, I don't take medicine. My body rejected any kind of antibiotic it's ever been given when I was younger. It rejected it. So I don't take medicine. I don't own medicine. I haven't done any of that. And I just know, I've always known that we've been given everything to sustain us in life. Like our bodies are made in such, we're not,
Yes.
we're
Oh,
powerful. Like we can do everything we want.
yeah. And you know what? You're absolutely beautiful for saying this, because what people need to understand is that when you cut yourself, paper cut, a little cut or a little cut, your body heals itself because you don't need to think about it. Your body's like, hey, there's danger. There's something that happened. We need to send our cells, we need to send our little workers that are inside of us to get there and fix it up, because we cannot live like this. Now, what a lot of people are not understanding is that a lot of stuff that we carry as people, as individuals, as men, as women, as beings, is a lot of the stuff, a lot of the reasons why we have health issues, a lot of the reasons why we have mental issues, emotional issues, or challenges, is because all of this stuff rooted from when we were kids.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
Is what brings our life into whatever happened in those moments is how we live our life. It's so true. Are you frozen or am I frozen? Oh, did we lose you? Try you again. Try to find you again. Hello, everyone. Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
I'm like,
I kept freezing. Yeah, I kept freezing, and I was like, no.
Okay, so you were saying about the childhood.
Yeah, it's so like an example on a psychological level or on an emotional level. What people are not understanding or don't understand is this: your child or a child's brain from 0 to 7 years old operates at a theta brainwaves. What does this mean? When your brain operates at a theta brainwaves, this is why you hear parents say, "Oh, my kid's a sponge. My kid's a sponge," because what's going on is in that child's mind, a child is innocent. A child is innocent because it comes from love. And here's the truth. A lot of people, trust me, I've known some devilish kids. There is some kids out there where I'm just like, listen, I was a terrible kid, but damn, that way you need to go to church. That kid needs to go to church. Just kidding. But what a lot of people don't understand and don't know is that when our brains operate out of theta brainwaves, it's actually recording. It's recording our life. It's recording our fundamentals to our building blocks to building the subconscious brain. So after those ages, once you start getting into your 15s, your 20s, all of a sudden you have all these challenges mentally and emotionally, energetically, and you have no understanding of why or where is it coming from? What's going on? And here's the thing. The only way people actually start figuring this out is when they're not busy, because education just pushes us to, like, elementary school pushes you to go to high school. High school just pushes you to go to college, university. It doesn't explore other options. It just says college, university. That's what you got to do. It doesn't explore any other options. Yes, there's electives, but it's not pushed at that point. And so here's the challenge. When you get out of high school and you go straight into college or straight into university, and then you do 3-4 years of whatever schooling it is, then you got more stresses on your mind that is currently happening in your life. I got to pay off debt. I got to do this. I got to do that. So what does your brain doesn't have that capacity to slow down, because you're not telling it to slow down. You're telling it, I got to go, because that's what you've been told. And so basically a lot of human beings go throughout their life without realizing they have trauma inside. So this is how toxic relationships starts happening. This is how bad behaviors between one another, or how I treat somebody or whatever, or how I treat myself is the most important one, because how you treat yourself is how you treat anybody else. Because why would you treat anybody else differently than the way you treat yourself? Because it's not love.
The mirror for each other. Like, we're all mirrors. So when something triggers us from someone else, it's something in us that we get to heal, that's bringing up something we get. It's nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with us. Everything always has to do with us. It's we get to love ourselves. We get to love ourselves, and when we love ourselves, that love emulates on the outside. So yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. And typically, again, like, if you're not aware of these things that happen at a young age and you carry them out into your older years, like in your 20s and your 30s, so on and so forth, basically you have all this trapped emotion, and you said it perfectly. When we get triggered, when we get that trigger is when we start thinking, oh my God, there's an issue. But instead of taking responsibility or stepping away from it, because we have our emotions involved, which is, at first, it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing to blame your partner, because it happens, right? I'm not sitting here saying I'd never blame my partner in my life. Yes, there was a lot of partners that I was like, that's you. I don't like what you did. But realistically, what I had to realize was a lot of it was internally. They were triggering those things for me to deal with those things. I don't know how, but their spirit communicated to my spirit and was like, you got to trigger. I'm going to trigger you, because you don't deal with this, you're always going to carry this out. And so here's the thing. That's when you start realizing something's off, because you can only fight so many people in your life before you end up in a place all alone.
Yeah, it will keep showing up. That trigger will keep coming up until you realize that it's something that you get to work through. Totally.
Yes. And a lot of it, I personally believe this, but a lot of it is a lack of self-love. It really is. From healing that inner child. That inner child, people say, a lot of people look at me with like 3 heads when I talk about inner child. But the thing is,
loves to hang out. She's just like,
but that's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you strong, because you're not worried about what you look like on the outside, because you know that it doesn't matter as long as you're happy. You're operating out of that happiness, which is that inner child. Your inner child's like, yes, we're unified again. We're connected again, because that's what gives us our love. That's what gives us our happiness. That's what gives us our ability to be upset one moment and then move on from the next, because we realize it's not really that big of an issue. And this is why putting the right food in your body is such an importance. I never, honestly, before the 30-day transformation, I honestly never would have thought that my nourishment was going to be one of the biggest factors as to why, I couldn't be consistently on that happy-go-lucky. And I realized that after I went through that 30 days of transformation, and it's so true, in Hinduism, they say your gut is your second brain. And you know what? I'm going to take it away from the Hinduism and I'm going to believe it as an actuality. Because here's the truth. If you eat like shit, I don't think you're going to run a marathon. I'll tell you right now, if you're going to try to eat a McDonald's meal and then go do a marathon, you're done. Like, no, if you eat like shit, you feel like shit. If you eat good, you feel good. And this is why it's so beautiful, because we're spreading this love. We're spreading this light now.
Yes.
Sorry, I kind of go on rants here and there, but.
Okay. But I was saying that everything's energy. So the food we're taking in also has an energy. And it's anything. It's relationships, the relationships you have, there's an energy exchange, especially when there's like sex involved. Like, that's a powerful energy, but like, we're all exchanging energy in all parts of the days. So like, the food we're taking in, the food that we're speaking about, the ones that we are taking, is such a high vibration. It's so beautiful. And it's blessed. The actual land is blessed and it's prayed over. And there's
what? I didn't even know that.
Every single moment of it, like, it's beautiful. Like, it's literally taken care of by the people who love humanity. They love people and they love the planet, and so they're putting love into the food that we are taking. Like, I just had my green drink, and it's literally like we're drinking in love. We're drinking in high vibration. We're drinking in energy that's so powerful and beautiful. And and it's farm to table. They're the only middleman that's involved in our food, in our superfoods, is the FedEx driver. That's it. There's no other.
And then our beautiful faces.
Our footprint is like next to nothing. They grow any money that comes in. Dave, the owner, he puts it right back into buying Monsanto's land. Like, he's literally buying up the land so that we can. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way of living.
And see, like, this is why it's so. I love this, because like, these are things, even so with my 30 days of transformation, I didn't even know, and this is why it's so beautiful. Like, for anybody who's looking to get into a healthier lifestyle, not just on one level, I'm talking about mind, body, and spirit. And again, for those of you that don't know, and for those of you that don't believe in spirit, think of it as energy. I always say energy is scientific. Everything in this world is made up of atoms and protons and neutrons and whatever. Everything is negative, positive energy. And here again, think about it. You know what? I'm not gonna beat around the bush on this, but do I still eat what I eat when my mom cooks or when somebody in my household cooks? Of course I do. Of course I do. I like being served once in a while. Don't get me wrong. But that's the great thing about this, is because I get to put this type of food, the high vibrational nourishment that is all organic, super fucking clean, like probably cleaner than I'm not even going to finish that sentence, but it's clean.
Apparently, there's only 1% of the food that's out there that is actual food. The other 90% is Franken food, and we're actually part of the 1%. So I'm really proud to say that.
Yeah, no, and it is a beautiful thing, right? Because if you really look at it, if you look at some of the biggest animals in the world, strongest physically, a gorilla,
elephants, they can't.
Elephants, gorillas, bulls.
Yeah.
What do bulls eat? Like, listen, I used to do bullfighting here in Cambridge. This is where I live. I gotta turn on the lights here. But
I know, we're losing you.
Okay, there we go. So I used to, as I was saying, like, I used to do what we call bullfighting over here. And, essentially those are scary mother freaking animals. Listen, when they come at you at full speed, it takes a hair, like an inch of a hair, to like really like screw you up. That's how strong these animals are. And what are they eating? What are they eating? They're eating the grass. They're eating what Mother Earth is saying, hey, you're a part of me too. Here, let me feed you. Right? And this is the
Yeah.
beautiful thing is that we're replicating the same thing with our shakes, with our super 23 and me, our super amino 23, apothecary, our biomedic. These are things that are really revolutionizing the way we think about food, the way we think about ourselves, the way we think about our bodies. And that's the most important thing because, again, listen, if you eat like shit, you're going to feel like shit. But worse than that, you're going to clog up your arteries. You're going to clog up your internals. One thing people don't know is that energetically, when we have emotional trauma, we store it in our bodies. We literally store. I have a great friend right now who I know for a fact he's had a hip issue for a long time, for a very long time. And I told him, I said, dude, instead of doing all this therapy and this and that, it's an emotional release that needs to come out. And he's like, how do you know? I was like, well, you've done the therapy. You've done all the works to get it done and corrected. And why hasn't it corrected? So it's possible that what I'm saying to you is a possibility. And this is the thing. For a lot of people that are watching, understand energy is very, very, very real. Because, again, Kathryn, when you were at your lowest, at your rock bottom, when I was at my rock bottom, where was our energy? Right there
Mine,
down with us.
my lower back and my hip area.
Yeah. We
I
carry it
I couldn't
inside.
even like down and put on socks without laying down on my bed and putting my socks on. I was like, what is happening to me? But it, like, I went through a lot of trauma all within the span of like a year, a lot of all at once. Like, I've had trauma my whole life, but for some reason, all of a sudden, I was now registering trauma in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never done that until I got that vaccination I spoke about in 2017. Until that moment, I never registered any trauma in my body. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, so.
And that's the thing. And that's why I love what we do because we're coming on here, we're sharing our stories, we're happy and energetic. And I don't know if you just seen, but on your side of the camera, there was something that was falling. I don't know. It was like an orb.
Really?
I'm telling you, you got to watch the replay because there was like two orbs that just fell in front of you, but I don't know how, I don't know. We got to see that. If anybody in the comments caught that too.
White lights and stuff too. They're like seeing these lights when I'm speaking and I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't see that.
No, yeah, that was amazing. I don't know what the heck that was, but that was so cool. You got to watch the replay after. It's near the end. But
Okay.
what I was saying, like, I didn't even know what I was saying. I just got so distracted there.
Food and how like the cells. So I noticed that too. Like when we're healing, well, not I shouldn't say healing. When we're flooding our bodies and we're removing these toxins, the toxins is also where the emotions are. So when we're flooding those toxins out, it's actually, and that's why people when they do our cleanse, and I don't like to say cleanse, but when they switch over to flooding their
The
bodies with
lifestyle.
nutritional food, they're going to be removing these toxins, but they're also going to be removing emotional toxins. And people will literally go through like spiritual, I'll say spiritual, but they'll go through this cleanse and they're literally removing the toxins. And they're going to find that you're going to find yourself crying sometimes. like you're going to be, but the beauty of it all is that we have this community that's amazing. And we will hold the bucket. We've got you. Like, we will hold the bucket for you. So,
And yeah, I honestly, I don't think I could have said it any sweeter because you know what? This is what I want to do. And this is what I am doing on an everyday basis. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of times where I'm just like, like I kind of feel like slouching today. But I'm like, no, because there's somebody I want to help. I remember the reason why I started in the first place. And that's what gives me power to come on here and to disregard anything of image and this. because A, I have the community to allow me to be me. B, I have the services to allow that to come into life, into my life, but also give that into other people's lives. And
Yeah.
C, and this really should have been the first one, but the best part of this is that you get to watch people transform. You get to watch people become the greatest versions of themselves. And if you ask me, coming from that darkness and realizing where I am today, I wouldn't wish that darkness upon anybody. And I know you would say the same. And I know a lot of people would agree with that. But here's the best part. We don't have to always watch people suffer anymore, right? We can give them that helping light, that helping guidance. Because listen, going through an evolutional change in your life, a change of lifestyle, a change in diet, or a change in what you're eating and what you're putting into your body, it is scary. And it is scary to say, hey, you know what? I sucked at taking care of myself. I never loved myself enough to really watch what I ate. It sucked.
And that's the
And
beauty
it's,
of
yes,
what this is. Because you
yes,
honestly just mix up your greens in your shaker glass, and you are literally flooding your body with the best nutrition. And even if you did it one time a day, that's it. Once a day, you're good. You're golden. Like absolutely golden. Like
and that's the best part. It's
yeah,
the convenience. It's so simple.
you
Like
can bring it anywhere.
honestly,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so awesome.
honestly, I don't go a day without drinking my power shake. Like I drink my power shake 2 to 3 times a day just because I love it that much.
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't actually have one. I didn't need to fuel my body until now.
Yeah,
I don't wake up hungry. I don't wake up like, I don't know. I don't have these like
cravings.
crazy
You don't.
and like all that weirdness. Like I used to crave sweets and sugar and everything, and now I run my body. My body doesn't have control over me. This is true freedom. This is
Yeah.
the most free I've felt, even though we're living in, communist Canada. Like,
China though.
I feel the most free because I'm not controlled by my body saying eat this sugar, eat this salty thing, like, and that's what I used to do. So it's beautiful, and I feel
Well,
this energy, and I'm sure you feel the same. You wake up with this beautiful energy, and you're just like, yeah.
yeah, and you know what? Like you're clear-minded, you're focused, again, it's you have that conscious awareness of what do I want to achieve today? What is it that there is orbs going all over your screen, girl. I'm telling you. There was
Really?
another two. Listen, your spirit is coming out because they're all around you.
I
I don't know
actually
if
have
anybody else seen that, but
I do have a bunch of angels. Like one time I went to my friend's to have she did a facial, and she left the room, the room that she has, and it's a Reiki room. And I could hear her coming back up the steps, and she just like kind of stopped. I'm like, why is she stopping? And then she opens the door. She's like, I didn't want to disturb you in case you were in conversation with all your angels. I'm like, oh, you know they're here? She's like, yeah, they're everywhere. I'm like, oh, well, they come with me everywhere I go.
yeah, listen, watch the replay because I'm telling you, every every like 20 seconds or so, they're there.
Wow.
And again, that's because of your vibration. The higher you vibe, the more downloads, the more communication, the more that opens up because you gotta, it's like an example. Like, let's just say, I'm the wealthiest person in the world. I'm Jeff Bezos. And I'm gonna go on a date with somebody. Not that somebody needs to be on the same level financially or anything, but as being Jeff Bezos, I know what it took to get to where I am and to get to that level of achievement for myself. Why would I put myself with somebody who's not willing to put themselves to that same level,
Yeah.
right? So the same thing. Your
Well,
angels or
ours, right? We're here
yeah,
whatever we want to create. So like I was always mirroring those like abusive relationships because I was lacking self-love. So until I learned the love that I was always looking for outside of me was actually inside of me, then now I don't attract like these kinds of people anymore. And I have like,
Yes.
it's different. Like the people coming into my experience are very powerful people. They're very together. They're on this
Yeah.
mission. It's beautiful. They love themselves. They're healing themselves. It's amazing. It's amazing that they literally say that the five closest people around you are the people you're mostly like, right? So
You're
like
some of the five, yeah.
we're rippling it outside of us. So if our five people are close to us, and then the next five people, and then the next five people, it's like we're creating this community. It's a ripple effect, and it's beautiful.
Well, and you know what? Here's the best part. It's easy to get in. It's not like, hey, what's the secret passcode? You know, like we are just like, hey, if you want to learn and you don't know, guess what? I'm brand new into this as well. I'm expanding my knowledge each and every single day. So for anybody that's watching this, listen, any new journey is a scary journey at first. And it could be an exciting one, but you still have those nerves. You still have those nerves like, oh my God, I want to make this work. Oh my God, I got to do this. You still have those preconditioned thoughts, those preconditioned ways of being. But here's the truth. We're going to be able to watch. We're going to be able to guide. We're going to be able to teach. And we're also going to learn too, because you get to bring yourself to the table as you are.
Yeah.
And let me ask this out loud. And I'm going to say this because I'm passionate, so I'm going to use the F-bomb here. Where the fuck in the world do you get to feel great about being yourself and being who you are, good or bad? Where else do you get that? Not many places. Not even with my own mother sometimes. You know, and I love my mom.
Yeah.
But, you know, like,
Yeah,
in this community.
We have everything. Everything's there for us. All we get to do is
Plug in.
Plug into this. We get to drink this. We get to do this and talk about it and talk about our experiences, and then you have this community. So if there's anyone on this call or anyone on the replay that has heard anything that we've talked about, that Andrew has talked about, or myself, reach out to us. Reach out to Andrew. Reach out to myself. We are here for you. We need people. We need more people to share this. It's a gift. It's literally a beautiful gift, and it's the new way. It's definitely the new way. It's the same technology that they use for astronauts to eat in space. Like, this is what they take in because they can't have food. They just have powders. So this is like the same stuff. So we can all be astronauts together.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all going to the moon. Let me tell you, you know, shoot for the moon, and if you land amongst the stars, it's just as beautiful.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, please, everybody, if you're hearing this, spread the word. Spread the word. Say, hey, Kathryn's doing this. I heard this guy Andrew talk. I loved his energy. Whatever. Spread the word, because the truth is, I'm not trying to go biblical here at all. And I'm going to kind of end it here because, you know, we're going on. But here's the truth. If this world took 7 days biblically, in a biblical way, it said it took 7 days to make this world. I will tell you right now, everything that from the beginning of time, the beginning of existence, everything that it was on earth is still on earth in terms of nutrition. And it's all here for people to consume. We weren't meant to take medications. We weren't meant to go eat McDonald's. These are pleasures. These are things, not for me at least, but they used to be pleasures for me.
They're distractions. They're taking us away from our actual soul purpose and our connection with our souls. That's what they do. It's the vibration of it slows us down. So all these other things, like, and with the food industry, with all the groceries going up, they went up by 6.5%. They're going to keep going up. They want us to be part of this global and they want to be able to, they want us to beg for things. So why not take everything into our own hands and have our power working for us?
Yes.
So that's what this is about. That's why we're here, because we don't want to be part of a global system where they're going to tell us what to eat and tell us what to do and how to work and do all the things.
No.
We get to take this power into our own hands, because as we unify together, so love and unity together equals freedom. And that's what we're creating here. We're creating love, unity equals freedom. So let's all be free and healthy and happy and just, oh, it paused because it's low battery.
No, you're good. Yeah, you're good. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And, you know, and I'm going to end it here. But this is why we're here. This is our battle cry. This is our cry out to the world. But when I say the word cry, don't think of it as a negative thing. It's a very powerful tool. Because if I put a 5-year-old crying in front of anybody that's angry, I guarantee you will not be angry. So hear our cry, hear our light, because we're here to help. And honestly, I'm on that page where it's like, I will take you by the hand because nobody did it for me. So,
yes.
you know, you're always a blessing to talk to.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you. You allowed me to be who I am. You allowed me to talk. And you know what? It's beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. Anyone who joined us today, thank you for being here. Anyone who's going to join the replay, thank you again. And again, reach out to either Andrew or myself. We're here for you. And so much love. Thank you.
My pleasure. You have a great day.